A little boy sets a trap to catch Santa Claus red-handed and hears a loud scream from the living room at midnight. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like and share this video with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them to do good. Also keep watching because an important lesson awaits at the end of the video. Startled, he runs downstairs and freezes in shock after turning on the lights. 7-year-old Ted was a huge fan of Santa Claus. His love for Kris Kringle reached new heights when he got his dream Xbox last Christmas. Since then, Santa has been his true hero, and Ted believed he was Ariel. The boy's classmates laughed at him whenever he told them Santa would slide down from his chimney to deliver presents like last year. "Santa doesn't exist, dummy. You're such a baby," they mocked, but Ted argued and stood his ground. He was curious about how Santa pulled his tricks to surprise everyone every Christmas. So on the night of Christmas, Ted set on a serious mission to catch Santa red-handed. "Roger, honey, come quick. He's stuck. He's stuck in the chimney." Ted's mother, Polly, shrieked after seeing his legs dangling from the chimney. Before everyone was up that morning, Ted tried to sneak into the chimney to catch a glimpse of jolly old Santa, but was stuck there for a few minutes. "Boy, what's up with you? You freaked us out," Roger gasped. Ted's hands and face were covered in chimney soot, and he looked so funny and helpless. "Dad, I was waiting for Santa. He comes in through the chimney," Ted said. "You what?" "Santa Daddy, Santa Claus. I wanted to see him. Our chimney is small, so I wanted to see how he comes down without his belly getting stuck in between." Roger and Polly could not help but turn around and laugh. They knew their son loved Santa, but this was getting crazier. Ted was disappointed at not seeing Santa, so his dad took him out to make a small sleigh. It was a replica of Santa's, and Ted was overly pleased, but he had a small worry. "Cool, Daddy, but how will we make them fly? Where will we get flying reindeer?" Ted asked Roger in a serious tone. "Son, they are with Santa, and only he has them. We don't have flying reindeer," he said, but Ted was unconvinced. "How come, Daddy? If we have Santa's sleigh, we have to get his reindeer. How will we get them? How will my sleigh fly without reindeer?" Roger was too annoyed and tired of explaining things to Ted. He blew up and said, "If you see Santa, ask him." Ted took those words too seriously and realized the only way to talk to Santa and borrow his reindeer was to catch him. A strange idea then struck him. Ted browsed the internet, looking for ideas to make traps, and waited until everyone went to sleep before putting his plan into action. On the night before Christmas, he stole a coil of rope from the garage and set up a trap in the living room. He scattered cookies and candies under the Christmas tree to lure Santa. He turned off the lights, except for the dim cereal lights on the tree, so that Santa wouldn't see the trap on the floor. Perfect. Now that's what I call a master plan. "Santa, I'll get you tonight. Just wait and watch." He raved and crept back to his bedroom. Ted hid under the bed so as not to scare Santa away. He was so sure that he would come that night and get caught in his trap. But poor Ted. He fell asleep, and at the stroke of midnight, he heard the loud screams of an older man ringing out of the living room. "Gotcha!" Ted ran screaming downstairs, excited to see Santa. He was so sure it was him. Ted was so happy his plan worked, and when he turned on the light, he froze in shock. "Oh my God," he gasped, unable to believe his eyes. "Get me down! Get me down!" Ted's grandpa, Jones, was shouting for help. He was lying on the floor with his legs raised in the air. "For God's sake, Ted." "Did you do this?" Ted was alarmed. He did not expect anyone to be wandering in the living room at midnight. His parents came running to Jones's screams and were equally startled. "What the hell happened?" "Dad, what happened?" Roger shrieked and ran to get his father out of the trap. "How did you get here?" "Ted, you better explain this," he yelled. Ted was already disheartened at not seeing Santa, and everyone was curious about what old Jones was doing in the living room when he was supposed to be sleeping. As it turned out, Ted's grandpa had crept into the living room to raid the fridge for ice cream and sweets. He had diabetes and was recently discharged from the hospital. He was forbidden from eating sweets and ice cream, but he couldn't curb his sweet tooth temptation that night. "It is Christmas, so I decided just to sin a little," Jones shyly said. Poor Jones, but his grandson's trap caught him red-handed in the act. Ted's parents burst into laughter while Jones was still cross with him. The boy was disappointed and embarrassed and ran to his room crying. He was already mad at his grandpa for ruining his plan. But what hurt him to the core was when he realized he would have to wait another year to pull another successful trick to catch Santa. Ted cried to sleep, and on the pleasant Christmas morning the next day, he woke up to a wide assortment of presents under the Christmas tree. He was so delighted and sad at the same time. "You escaped this time, Santa. My silly old grandpa saved you. But be ready next year. I'll make a better plan, and I'm gonna catch you and your reindeer," he said, rattling a small Santa toy hanging atop the fireplace. "Well, Ted, we wish you good luck with catching Kris Kringle next Christmas. If you do manage to catch him, please don't forget to ask him how to make your sleigh fly. And don't borrow all his flying reindeer. Merry Christmas!"